Petrow, President and CEO of Vector Security. Pam, thanks so much for spending some time with us.
You're welcome.
I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Vector and some of the fun new things that you're doing at the company.
Well, we're spending a lot of time on employee development. We think that technology has really changed dramatically in the industry. Plus, the company has grown, so we found that we need to develop our people both from a leadership and a management perspective, as well as develop skill sets at all levels, sales, administration, our technical people.
Right.
So we've really had a huge focus on training the last year and a half, and we're going to continue it through this year on training and building the skills of our existing employees.
Okay.
So that's one thing we're really excited about. We're also been doing some really great marketing programs for some new services and product offerings that we have.
Okay.
So our marketing team and our sales team are very excited about some of the new offerings that we have and we're going to be releasing in the next several months.
Great. I think the space of security is changing a bit, and so that's
Absolutely.
something that you started to touch upon. Training employees both from sales, operations, all kinds of different levels. What do you think are the new skill sets that they have to implement these new technologies and new trends?
Well, one of the things we've really been focusing on is telling our people it's not about installing a contact on the door anymore.
Right.
What people need and what they want is much more beyond that. It's not just about the physical equipment. So we're training them a lot of customer service skills, a lot of follow-up skills, making sure people really understand and are utilizing their systems, especially if they're using interactive services. It's great to sell them, and everybody's talking buzzwords, mobility, interactive services, but if people aren't using them, don't find a use for them, it's not going to do anything to increase people's adoption rate and their use of it, and whether they're going to attrit or not later. So it's more than just putting and installing in the device. It's what do you do after that? And that's what's really going to make a difference and differentiate the companies, not just having the service.
Exactly. I know you have a strong background in the central station part of the company. How are these new things affecting the central stations in day-to-day operations?
I think they do a lot because, first of all, the customer has access to information they never had before.
Right.
So you have to train your operators so that they know what the customer's seeing, not just what they're seeing. Because sometimes they're different. Sometimes there's a delay. Sometimes they're getting information we don't get at the monitoring center.
Okay.
So for us, we have to train the operators so that they understand the customer experience. If they don't understand the customer experience, the customer may call and ask a question, and they're not going to have an answer. So it's going to create a negative experience on our side.
And is that something that you do when someone's hired to the company, or you do continual training?
We do it when they're hired. It's part of our training program, part of the curriculum that we've developed. But we also do it on an ongoing basis because there is a lot of change. There's a lot of different products out there, so we have to make sure that we're regularly training. And we have dedicated trainers within our facilities, so that is their job to make sure as we roll out new products that they introduce those to the team, but also that they do ongoing training so that if people haven't seen something for a month or two, we have to refresh on it.
Right, because that's your touch point with your customer, so it must be very important.
It's one of the key ones. Operators I have a passion for them because I spend a lot of time in the central station, and sometimes they get treated like second-class citizens, and they're not. They're really a key component of your company and your major customer touch point. So that experience happens there on a regular basis, more than it does anywhere else in the company.
Absolutely vital to your brand.
Absolutely.
So, I have to say this is the security industry. Really, it's very male-dominated, and some have called it the good old boys club. So, have you had any specific challenges being a woman? Your name is huge in the industry, and for a female trying to work up the ranks in the security industry, do you have any advice, anything you can share about that experience?
That's a question that I don't like, but I really think that what you do is dependent upon your performance. It's not whether or not you're a male or a female. So I really don't. I've never had any issues, and I can say that's probably as a result of the fact that I don't see myself as being different from anyone else there. I mean, I'm a professional just like everybody else here, and I try to make sure that I treat everybody fairly, that I'm open-minded, and that I present my views in as diplomatic a fashion as I can. And I've not really had any issues, so I don't see that as being a barrier. I think the security industry is very male-oriented. You have to just sit in any session and you'll see that. But I don't think that means that it's uninvited to females. I just think it just happens to be that there's a lot of people with legacy children that come into the industry. And a lot of times it's just a male just path of rite of passage. They come in right behind their fathers or whatever. So it's never been an issue for us. At Vector, it's not an issue. I mean, 20% of my district managers, higher level managers, are females. So we've got a very diverse group of individuals within our company. So it's never been an obstacle for us, and I don't think it should be for anybody. It's
Sounds
about
like
what you do, not whether you're a male or a female doing it.
Right, great. Where do you see some of the growth in Vector, or where you're in now, vertically? Are you residential, commercial, retail?
We're focusing on a lot of different areas. We talked in the last session about how video has really had high growth. We have some video offerings that we've recently introduced that we will be introduced, and we believe that that's a very key market for us moving forward in the commercial side. Residentially, we've been offering interactive services for about 10 years now. So we were one of the original users on alarm.com, so we've had a long history with them and a long history of our customers using interactive services. So we recognize that, have embraced that, and all of our sales reps are selling that. So that's not new. With the locks and the temperature, we've been offering that for a couple of years now. So it's not brand new for us, but I know it's new to a lot of companies in the industry. But we've had a really high success rate with it, and an adoption rate for our customers is relatively high.
I know you had a chance to take a look at the conference catalog that was recently sent out. Did anything stand out to you as being particularly important? You always send a team to ESX.
We do. I'm a very big believer in the ESX show. For our company, we send as many people as we can. There's something for everybody. And when I looked at the catalog, and I have to admit, this is the first time that I looked at it. I mean, we're busy. We get a lot of mail. Everybody gets a lot of stuff on their desk every day, and you don't take the time to look at it. If you take the time to look at it, there's going to be nobody left in your office, because there's something for everyone in here, whether it's administrative, whether it's HR, employee development, business development, even technical. On the technical side, you expect that, but it's more than just that. So I looked at it, and I always look at it, okay, who do I want to bring and who's going to be there?
Right.
And there were just some really good things with regard to change that I saw in here. Developing a purpose-driven culture throughout the organization. A lot of alarm companies are going from that small to mid-size or mid-size to larger. It means changing the culture of your organization. So here's a class that's out there, a seminar that people are going to be delivering.
Right.
There are also programs on continuous improvement in operations. Who doesn't want to do that? Our margins are tighter because there's more competition out there. So there's everywhere I look, there was something of value. You just need to take the time, look at it, and figure out who can come, learn the lessons, and bring those back to apply them in your organization. But there really is something for everyone when you look through the course catalog.
Right.
Tremendous offering. Whoever, the group that put together the program just did an excellent job of finding something for all levels of the organization.
Right. I've had the chance to sit down with a few people, and they said, it's crazy because there's almost 16 seminars here, and I don't think everybody realizes how many there are and how many different tracks and how many different people that education program can serve in your company.
It is, and I think you have to bring multiple people, because otherwise you miss certain things. So since they're running concurrently, you want to make sure you have somebody in all the different sessions. So we've always brought a team. We'll continue to bring a team. There's a lot of value, and I can say that we've had a return on investment every time we've come. So it's worth it for us and for our team.
Great. Thank you so much, Pam. We'll see you at ESX.
We will.